Social media gives and takes away, just like that toxic ex from your past. They better be in your past. Hi, I'm Tamia, for those of you who don't know, and today I'm starting a new series called Let's Be So For Real, where things are a little less structured and more conversational. So talk to me in those comments. But without further ado, let's be so for real. Okay, so I do want to start off by saying that I know that social media isn't all bad. I've learned so much from it and I've made friends off of it, but we'd be crazy not to admit that there is some pretty dark cons to it as well. I always describe social media as like this emotional roller coaster that is hard to get off of. And I say it for two reasons. One, because there's a constant switch of emotions that you go through while you're on these apps. And then two, social media can have addictive qualities. And I'm going to talk about both today. The emotional aspect is what really singed this into my brain to talk about. Because just the other day, I was scrolling on social media and I came across that scene from the Pant Trap where Chessie is at the house and she realizes that she's talking to Annie and not Hallie. And she starts crying. So I start crying too. And then I just scrolled away to the next thing, busted out laughing. I go to touch my face and I realize the tears from 2 seconds ago are still on my face. And then I just had like a tizzy, like, girl, how often do you do this? Like, how many times are you switching back and forth between emotions like this? And how is it affecting you? Because I also think about how I'm just scrolling through cute dog videos. Next thing you know, I'm looking at a military homecoming, which we all know are tear jerkers. And then someone's trauma dumping, and then you're back to laughter. And it's just like all so much. And I feel exhausted all the time. And while I'm scrolling, it's like I'm immune to this exhaustion, or like I'm not really paying attention to it until like maybe I get distracted from my phone and then I come back and I'm like, girl, you're exhausted. Like, and then I am like disgusted and I want to put my phone down because I'm like, dang, we just did a lot of twirls. Not only can you experience this as a scroller, you can experience these emotional switches as a poster, like being on the other side. Child, let's talk about it. Posting on social media makes you more vulnerable to validation. I don't care. We have all sought validation before, whether we realize it or not. You paying attention to that like count, and every time you get a like, the happiness that it brings you, that's that dopamine. You have little bursts every time you get a like or a comment on a post. But just as fast as you get that validation from other people and that dopamine release, it can easily be taken away just as quickly. Because think about the times where your posts suck. They do poorly. That suck kind of hurt. I'm sorry, that hurt me a little bit actually. Anyway, like when they do poorly and you see your like count, it makes you feel like, what did I do? Like the content that you put out wasn't good enough. It can make you question a lot of things, and it makes you not even want to see it. That's why all of us got our little like counts hidden on all our posts. Not nobody, that's not nobody business how many likes is on your post. That's how we all feel about it. But I still think it's connected a little bit to that validation and how you look to the public eye. If everyone else sees that you have a low count too, what are they gonna think about you? You know what I mean? I just feel like it's all like a little cycle that works together. And also, we can shift into a comparison and how that affects your mental every day. When you get on social media and you see people that are doing better than you, seem to be doing better than you, just because social media is also a highlight reel. Also, we're not going to see the struggle that it took for the person to get to that place. We're not even going to see the background process of how hard they worked to get there. But we always compare ourselves to their end results. We don't think about all that kind of stuff. We're just like, oh my gosh, they have this. Why don't I? Oh my gosh, they have this. What am I doing wrong? It's so many little thoughts that come to our head, and it literally flips our world upside down. And we do this knowing comparison is a thief of joy, but it's like you can't help it. For example, I'm a Christian, right? So I see a lot of Christian content creators come across my timeline. I always see them talking about different things that we should be doing. You should be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing this. And I will start comparing what I do to my life to what they're claiming I need to do to my life and what they're doing in theirs. And is God doing things to make things work better for them? And my what? Literally had a panic attack about it one day. I had to throw my phone across the room. I'm kidding. This phone's too expensive to throw across the room, but I had to put it to the side. You know what I'm saying? And I just have to pray about it because, like, what the heck am I doing? Like, I'm not trying to compare out here. I'm really not trying to seek human satisfaction out here. I'm trying to seek God's. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's just like one example of how I can slip into it so easily. And I've done it plenty of times in millions of other ways. And it's just so crazy to think about how much social media has this power and influence in the world when it didn't exist like 25 years ago. MySpace ain't hit the streets till '04, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we can't let social media do what it does. And I know some people that are watching just to get on my nerves are gonna be like, social media don't do that to me. Okay, whatever, baby. A lot of us are out here struggling, and that's okay to me. But just for that example I gave about how it really wasn't even really a thing 25 years ago, we can't let it dictate our lives like it does today. But it ain't easy. We don't have the home court advantage, folks. These social media apps are literally designed for us to get hooked on them and to keep scrolling. Why do you think we have For You pages? Because these apps are designed to constantly feed you content that is going to keep you glued for hours. Because the algorithm notices when you like something, and then it tries to become that thing so you stick around longer. Just like a toxic, I'm trying to tell y'all, it's all coming full circle. Anyway, but like I was saying, like I have sat here in this exact spot and scrolled. I have woken up, turned over and scrolled. Before I brush my teeth, y'all, I've been scrolling. Like I know we all done it at least once. But we gotta try to get out of it. And I think this all starts with awareness, right? Because like if you feel like you don't really have a problem or it's like it's not that bad, you're really not gonna do anything about it. I think you have to take the time to sit and evaluate like, hey, how much time do I spend on social media and is all of it healthy? And I feel like you can start there. One thing that I would not recommend though is just like deleting the apps cold turkey. I don't really think that makes sense, especially if you're just gonna go back and be on social media later on. I feel like that's like delaying the problem. You might as well just keep the apps on your phone and try to healthily cope with this habit. And I think the way, like the obvious way you can do this is to limit the time that you have on the app. Like, okay, I'm only gonna scroll for 15 minutes and actually sticking to it. Because trust me, I know that little iPhone function about setting these timers on your apps, but I also know how to hit ignore limit. Amen. Okay, so you really have to make sure that you're determined and you want to commit to actually spending less time on social media, or you're just gonna get stuck in this same cycle. I think you can also like do some type of hobbies or something, man. Like, I don't know, read a book, try to go hang out with your friends, take up gardening, meditate, something else, just something else to fill up your time. Try to think about other things that you enjoy outside of social media. I think one thing that's really going to help me is getting an actual alarm clock. I'm going to link the one that I got below because it's kind of like this cool like sunrise alarm clock. Anyway, the reason I want to do that is because I use my phone for literally everything, including an alarm clock. I hit snooze or stop or whatever, pick up my phone, and I'm already scrolling for the day. So getting a real alarm clock will kind of help me out with this. There's so many other things that you can do to try to get past this. You just have to really be serious about it. And if you've clicked on this video because you feel like you have a serious social media addiction, or you've realized that while watching this video, I strongly recommend going to seek professional help if needed. Just because, like we were talking about earlier, we really can't use the internet for everything, and sometimes we really do need that additional outside help from a professional. But okay, that is all from me today. If you have made it this far, go ahead and comment that looking eyes emoji because I'm trying to keep that off these screens. Except when you're watching me though. You can keep watching if you want to. But definitely go ahead and like and comment and subscribe just so I can see you next time. We're pals now, okay? All right, go be great cheesecakes. Bye.